Really happy with the way those guys performed. I thought, they did a phenomenal job. Looking back at the tape, I feel like when you watch the film, you see all 11 guys, playing connected, really just executing the game plan. And I think when you have as much depth as we have, and you got a bunch of guys who are capable, you see guys stepping up and making plays. And so I was really happy for those guys. I had a great feeling about it, and it was just good to see it happen on Sunday.
How are the Panthers creating so much with their pass rush and just their front seven and front four?
Yeah, I think their defense is really led by that front seven. And when you talk about their guys, a bunch of really talented first rounders. You talk about Brian Burns on the edge, who a phenomenal pass rusher. You got Derek Brown, real stout guy in the middle. He plugs up all the holes in there, and he makes it tough in the run game and the passing game. And then a guy who is really showing up and has shown up the past 2 years is Frankie Louvu. He's made a ton of plays. They move him around. He does a bunch of different things for their defense. And so you see an aggressive bunch, a bunch of guys who play together. They play inspired. And as always, man, it's going to be another tough battle for us, as we expect every single week. And those guys do a great job. So we look forward to, another opportunity to prove ourselves.
DK yesterday was talking about just the coverage that they have forces you to throw some of those underneath routes more than maybe other teams. What's the challenge in taking what they give you?
That's always, I wouldn't say it's a challenge. That's what we have to do as an offense. I think for the majority of the time, the last 2 years, we've been seeing nothing but two hot shells, and we can expect that with the talent we have at wide receiver and the type of tight ends that we have in the passing game. And so that's something that we're expecting. Obviously, they can call any call they want. They can make any adjustment they want. We just got to be ready for it. And so whatever they have for us, we got to go out there and make the proper adjustments if need be. But it comes down to execution. And so we got to see what they're doing and make the right calls, and then obviously go out there and execute the game plan.
You did that in Detroit, taking what they gave you early in the game. How do you think that kick-started the whole offense, scoring that first drive and doing that?
Yeah, that's always our game plan. I'm never going to try and force the ball. Just always trying to make the right read and go to the right guy with the ball. And, for the most part, that works out for us. And so I've got to always be on top of that and make sure, the ball's spreading around based on what the coverage gives us. And, at any given play, it could be any guy. And that's the great part about our offense, is that we got so many talented guys who can make plays. It really doesn't matter who it is. The key is for everyone to play connected and do the right things, and everything else should work itself out.
The team's celebrating the 10th anniversary of the Super Bowl team. You came in the league that year. I know you didn't play the Seahawks, but just from afar, what was kind of the perception? What do you remember about that team coming up?
Yeah, I was actually in New York when they won the Super Bowl, and I remember just watching that team and just the type of passion they play with. That game was a tremendous game. I mean, they really took it to the Broncos, who had a really good offense, and you can see, coming into the game, they might have been kind of thought of as the underdog, so maybe they had that chip on their shoulder. But when you watch them play, man, they were just physical, they were fast, everything that Coach Carroll talks about. And that was a great team, and it's fun to have a lot of those guys who still come back and still lend their expertise to the young guys. But it's great to have those guys being honored this weekend. They're a great bunch, and they mean a lot to this city and to this team.
How important was that first drive last week? I mean, just taking the opening kickoff and going down, just kind of given, I guess, the way the previous week had gone and kind of the atmosphere that there was there.
It's always important. We want to score every time we get the ball. And we're not thinking about the previous week when we go out there and play. We're thinking about doing our jobs and executing and, just making the play one play at a time. So it's always important to go out there and start early, right? You want to give your team a lead. You want to give your defense something to be excited about, and your fans. And so that's our goal, to start fast every time. Anytime we get the ball, we want to score. We want to try and do the best that we can, no matter what the situation is, to score points. And so that's always going to be our kind of motto. We just want to score points as much as we can, and hopefully as fast as we can.
Geno, how would you assess your run game? You're averaging like 83.6 yards a game, and that's numbers. But how would you assess it just in terms of it progressing and trying to get to where you all feel it needs to go?
Yeah, I think our run game is, it is what it's been. I think it's only 2 games, and it's hard to make an assessment on that based on 2 games. But we know we want to run the football here. We want to be physical up front, and we got the guys to do it. And so we just got to keep plugging at it. Shane's going to keep calling those runs, and we're going to keep giving it to our talented backs, and our line's going to continue to, press forward. And so whatever the numbers are, it is what it is after 2 games. But I believe that those will obviously improve as the season goes along, and those are things that we got to continue to work on in practice. So it's a key to our offense, it's a key to our team. It's a big part of who we are, and so we just got to keep plugging at it, and knowing those things will work out.
The 3 tight ends combined for I think like 130 yards or something. When you've got that 12 or 13 personnel and they can block, run routes, do different things, just how valuable is that to your offense with what they can do?
Yeah, it's super valuable. Having 3 tight ends and really 4 tight ends with Mabry who can really step in there, and they're an extension of everything we want to do on offense as far as running the ball, play action, and then the passing game. And when you can mix personnels, it just keeps the defense off balance. You can see a bunch of things on tape where their guys were kind of indecisive about what to do, run or pass. They got run fits, and then they got obviously coverages and pass. And so as much as we can get guys thinking about what to do, and we can mix the personnel, it's going to help our offense. But to have those guys out there, to have them as a big part of our passing game, it's going to be vital for us in every single game.
I gotta ask, you've never seen The Wire?
No, I've never seen it.
Oh man, no one's ever recommended yo, you gotta watch this?
No, I grew up in The Wire, so I didn't have to watch it. I just went outside.
Okay.
And anything else? Thank you.
Thank you, guys.